Good morning. The future. The stories I tell myself about the future. When I look over the fence into the future, I create sometimes an anxiety. A friend of mine told me the other day that when you look, anxiety is about worrying about the future and depression is about worrying about the past. That's the first time I've ever heard that. It makes a lot of sense to me. Um, yeah, it makes a lot of sense to me. So I also think about it as like filling in Mad Libs. Do you remember Mad Libs? Like, and filling it in with the worst, the worst possible scenarios I could ever have. I'm telling myself horrible stories about a future that I'm terrified to have, instead of, thinking about like a reasonable outcome and just letting it happen. I'm taking myself out of this day and projecting myself into the future, and those stories aren't even nice. They're usually, more than doom and gloom. So they have power over me if I'm sitting in the future and not in this moment. It sounds so simple, but much of the day, at times, I will find myself projecting into a future that hasn't happened, or being in an argument or a scenario that hasn't happened. Another friend of mine a long time ago told me that conversations are best had with two people. And I can't tell you the number of conversations I have with people that aren't in the room, or I'm in my car and I'm having a conversation, or I'm playing out, I'm going to ask her out this way and she's going to say that, or I'm going to go talk to my boss about a raise, or, I'm in a confrontation with somebody and I'm playing it out already, and they're not in the room. So there's something about confrontation sometimes, or resistance, or just being in that moment that's so terrifying that for me, I have to fill in the blanks. I want to I want to project a scenario on it. And sometimes that's useful. When I work with some guys, I talk about, like, writing a light script, like, if it could go the way you wanted it to go, how would it be? Not the way you worry it's going to go. Just so when certain questions may arise, you know what you want to ask or answer. But to live there and then to project the worst possible outcome is counterproductive, you know. So, I mean, worry. I also heard that, like, worrying is like praying for the worst things, which makes sense to me too. So that's the future. Talk more about story